Have you ever felt like you're putting in the time in your music, you're putting in all the effort, you have that passion, but you're just stuck? Have you ever felt like you're just getting nowhere and everything you're trying is just a circle that keeps coming back around and you don't know what to do next? Just feels like not getting anywhere, might as well give up. Well, what if I told you we have three great things? If you just commit these to memory, try them out today, it could change everything and start pushing you past everybody else and moving you forward in your career. Maybe. Let's have a think on that. Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode. So happy to have you with us. Today's just gonna be a quick one, but really, really useful if you choose to use this quick, simple pattern of thought process, of an overarching, just quick way to tackle the world in front of you. And I promise if you start using this, you'll start joining that club of musicians around you in your area, in your sphere, that are moving forward, getting things done, pushing to new levels. You are going to be one of them. You're not going to be stuck in the back with everybody else. You're going to be climbing over those hurdles. And let's get right into it today. But just before we do, really want to thank everybody for all the likes, subscribes, everybody joining our community. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much. If you haven't, you're new here, whatever the reason is, give us a subscribe, join the community, throw a like our way. It just helps with the algorithm, helps us get more things out there for everybody to help everybody grow and get better. So thank you so much. Let's get right into the episode. First things first, like I said, three-step process, three-step mindset. If you've come to a point in your career, in your daily routine, in your practice, if it's an instrument that you're just not growing at or getting better at, if it's you're recording and you're just not getting better as an engineer, or your mixes or your mastering process has just never gotten better, or it just feels stuck, this is where we start, first and foremost. So if you identify that you're stuck, if you're able to say that I haven't grown or I'm not getting better at this and I know I need to get to this next level and I just don't know what to do, the first thing you need to do is, number one, shift your perspective. It's the most important part. So you know that there's something that you haven't quite achieved yet. You know you want to be this level of good and you just don't know what it's going to take to get there. You have to shift your perspective first and foremost. And what do we mean by shift your perspective? Quite simply, when you have something that you are stuck with and you just can't get better at, you don't know how to overcome that obstacle, just take it, for example, in your career, if you're at a spot where you don't know how you're going to get out and start playing bigger shows, you're able to play the breweries and the small local venues, get a couple 10, 20, 30 people out and watch a show, and maybe even 5, however small or big it may be, but you want to take that next step. Shift your perspective first and foremost. You've identified the problem. Instead of saying, I can't do that because I don't know the right people, because I don't have a band, because I don't have this or that, I don't have the right sound system, I don't have the right equipment, whatever you are instantly going to tell yourself, and you are going to. It's just our human nature. We all do this. We're all guilty of this. We all suffer through this every single day. Shift that perspective. Instead of saying, here's why I can't, or here's what I don't have, and just switch it straight to how. Cut out all that crap, stop thinking like that, and go straight to how. I promise you, this has gotten me so much further in my life, in my career, in my music. It doesn't matter what it is. I promise you, if you start just shifting your perspective and saying how, instead of this can't be done, or here's why I can't do that, just how. And just in keeping with that same example we just used, if you went from, I can't play those venues, I don't know the right people, I don't have the right equipment, I don't have a band, and just went straight to how. I know they're playing these shows. I've seen so-and-so play these amazing, great shows, get bigger and bigger, and how? How do I get to that? And instead of just thinking, here's the reason I can't do that, I'm going to stop, maybe someday if I do this, this, and this. It's just, what steps do I have to take to get there? What can I do today to make that achievement? Who can I start talking to? Can I start getting a group together to make a band? Can I start just playing slightly larger venues and connecting with the venue owners and figuring out who they know? What is the avenues that I can start taking today, and every step I take moving forward to do this? How? The word is how. And once Once you switch that mindset, once you go to that perspective, it's not so much that everything changes, but everything you do from that point moving forward has changed dramatically. It's not what I can't do, or you'll stop working on something, or you'll try to come at it from a different angle. It's just what I can do today, and how can I achieve this? Here's the steps I can do. Here's what I can achieve. Those are the ways. And that leads you right into number 2 of this: simplify and focus. So again, let's just use the same example. It makes it very easy. We've identified what you might be able to do. How can I do this? So you start listing off things of what I can do. I can start talking to venues. So, I can start putting a band together. I can get a better social media presence, all those kind of things. But really what you need to do, you've got the how, you've got the perspective now. You can write down a list. And I suggest once you start having those ideas of what the checklist is of things you need to do, how can I do this? Have it written down, put it down somewhere. It's great. It's just a mindset and a goal for you to get to. It's great. It's a checklist. It's what we want. But if you simplify and focus and just pick one of those things, either towards the top of that list or whatever it is, one thing that you can do today, and just using the same example, reaching out, say that's the easiest one for you to do. You go on to your Facebook, you go on your Instagram, the venues around you, reaching out and just, hey, a simple DM. Can I talk to somebody that does all the booking for the music? And not so much that you're asking me to book, just reach out and say, hey, here's where I'm at. What do I need to reach your level? Getting that information is so key. Building that little network of, hey, if you can do this, this, and this, we'll book you and you'll get a bigger show, or you can open for such and such on this night, or, here's how other artists have come into our venue. And then that gives you a list, a breakdown. Not only have you made that connection, now you know what to go do. You can start doing those little things. You can add that into your checklist. And once you have them, you've already got this connection built because you took that step. You took a very simple thing and made it happen. And hey, so-and-so, guess what? I've accomplished these things. Here's what I can do. Here's what I can offer. If you have an opening coming up, whenever you need somebody, I'm available. Huge step forward, all because you changed your mindset of I can't do that, and you start taking small steps. It might not happen today, and that's what you really have to remember when it comes to everything. You're planting seeds for the future. You're doing the work now that will pay off later. You might not get that show today. You might not get it 2 or 3 months from now, but 6 months down the line, when you've been doing all the work and you're ready, and there's a big show coming in and they don't have an opener, and that first thought that comes is, I have somebody that's in that genre. They can do this. They know their stuff. They start contacting you and get the ball rolling because you did that work, because you took some steps. Huge win. Now, the other thing, this is a fantastic mindset. It's really how you can get things going and doing that. But number 3 on this list is the one thing that a lot of people really underappreciate, and it's the difference between somebody who starts really taking off and their career just blossoms and they're playing the big shows, they're getting signed. If that's what their goal is, they get signed to, I have seen it happen and it's a wonderful thing. But the way that they're able to do it is they have a support network. They have people around them to support themselves and grow. And having that community, having those people around you is the biggest one. Having the people with the right mindset that are either one, trying to get to that level, they're musicians themselves, being able to talk to them and say, what's working for you? Here's what you should be doing. Or somebody that's even better in that situation and say, hey, I can see from over here that you're not doing enough in this situation. Here's what I feel like you're not doing right, or what your strengths aren't. And here's what you can work on to achieve what we've achieved, or what, so-and-so has achieved in this area. That network is so great. And another way to have somebody in your corner is mentorship. Now, when I said that, the first thing you're thinking is, okay, find a mentor, find somebody who has achieved greatness either in their time or, in their area that is my genre, my kind of music. They've had success. They're out there playing day after day. Talk to them, find a way, let them know, hey, I'm looking for somebody that can teach me the way. How can I get in? Use those words. It's so absolutely invaluable to have somebody behind you that wants to see you succeed, wants to be part of your success. Can't beat that. But there is another side to this. You can be a mentor too. You can take on somebody who is trying to grow up. No matter what level you made it to, you're not in the beginning probably if you're listening to this. And if you are, that's fine. But if you're like intermediate, or if you're just starting to get off the ground and start to grow, and you see somebody way down in the beginning, just starting out, has those same aspirations, you can be a mentor to them. And that kind of stuff, just be able to talk back and forth and throw these ideas. One, tell them, share what worked for you, what didn't. It starts to open up your mind. You start to say things that are, really like, hey, here's what I did. And you're reflecting upon what you achieved and how you did it and what you can do better, or how you can repeat that success just because you've had this conversation. If nothing else, you're just giving back and helping other people grow, which is just the right thing to do. But I promise you'll get even a little bit more out of that just because you're taking that time to help them grow, to do a little bit more. So all these things can really help. But if you do these 3 things, you just have a problem, you want to get somewhere, you're not sure, you can shift your perspective, go from whatever, why I can't, how I can't, what's not possible, to just straight how. And you go into simplify and focus. You figure out what you can do, take on something simple, one day at a time, one step forward, do that one thing, and then move forward on the next. It may take time. Everything takes time. Anybody that tells you something's an overnight success is full of crap, and they haven't looked into it, and they're jealous. No such thing as an overnight success. So we've gone, shift your perspective to how, simplify and focus, and then surround yourself with the right people, the right support system, or be that support system. And I promise you will stop having so many of those hurdles. You will stop getting stuck for months or half a month or years at a time where you don't progress as an artist, as a musician, or in your career. And you'll start having success after success after success because you're climbing that mountain. You're finding the right foothold, the right handhold to climb and keep going because you know these steps work. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I know it sounds redundant or stupid or whatever you might say, but I promise if you start thinking like this, and if it instantly starts to become a habit of you instead of, here's what I can't do, I can't afford that, I can't do that, I can't do this, just how, what can I do today? I promise if you're taking little steps every day, you're going to make huge steps over time. That's it today. If that helped you at all, if you have anything to add, let us know in the comments. If it helped you, give us a like and a subscribe. Those things really help. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And of course, we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.